Hello, hope you're doing well, and welcome back to the channel for a bit of a Sunday discussion about an issue in MCOC at the moment, made worse by the emergence of Solvarch. Yes, I am wearing my Lego emo wig today, so let's get into let's get into the video. So this week I haven't really had a lot of fun playing against Solvarch, and I'm not alone, right? Whether it's AI, and we're going to see some footage in a minute that just wow. Okay. Yes. AI. Frustrating. Not alone. You know, it's good to see Similar having a similar experience. Not in a bad way, but it's like we're all united in a similar type of frustrations around not just champion inabilities that created nodes around it, it's the functionality around how the AI actually moves out. AI recovery time being one particular issue. One of the biggest things that becomes a frustration, has been frustrating for years, what seems to be now a feature, is hitting to block and counter by special, something that I've talked about for years on the channel, and something I don't think will ever be, number one, addressed, number two, acknowledged as being a problem, or even conceived as being a problem. The particular footage that you can see on screen right now is a lot of waiting around for this champion to throw special attacks. Once this SP2 is thrown, which you're like, okay, well, it is what it is, and then I'm hitting into the block. Just don't at me on that one, by the way. You shouldn't really do that because you do power up. But this SP2 point here, I counted this up, and it was 26 seconds of this kind of like blah, 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 like kind of like constant, like you see there, like 26 seconds of waiting. Funnily enough, if I put in the time frame of the SP1 that I was waiting past that point, it was about 45 seconds, which is absolutely terrible to wait for a special attack to be thrown. Believe it or not, I don't want to wait a longer length of time for a special attack to be thrown at me, especially when time is pressing. Regardless of how I played against that particular fight right there, you shouldn't really kind of hit into the block. But when you're trying to go, okay, right, I hit into the block to encourage a special attack, and of course, each to their own with how they're trying to bait out a special attack. If the champion's not throwing it, then what is that? You look at other games, like other fighting games, and you have to always compare it. Like, I know it's not right to compare it, but you go, well, don't they normally just like throw them? Or at least throw their ultimates. That's the kind of comparison. I've definitely seen players have different experiences, and what I experience and what other players experience doesn't mean that that is the consensus around the community. I just have to call out what I see and go, well, when I play other games or what we had right in the very beginning. Oh, but to be honest, we haven't really had that consistent AI around what is, a fighting game just build. And Command know that because they hadn't built it at the start to be so free flowing as say other fighting games are. I'm sure to disagree with that, but we'll look at some information around that in a minute. But what players experience is important. You play the game, I play the game, so what we experience is important to what is a fighting game or not. Marvel Token, which is out, Fighting Token, out next year. I think it actually went into some early access on PlayStation, so people got a example of what a fighting game is, a new Marvel fighting game, similar to like a side by side type thing. That's interesting to check where that is at. Anyway, what are players experiencing? So this player says here, so Heavenly Demon says, I don't know if anyone's having problems, just wanted to share my thoughts. AI is getting worse day by day. I don't know how much time I had to restart Valiant quests, so most of the champions are now light intercepting me. Yes, not even medium intercepting me. MI was bearable, but light intercepts, it was hell a lot of annoying, especially in Quest 6 of Valiant AQ. And I do agree, like the amount of like hitting to block counter by special, the amount of kind of like special intercept, not special intercepts, but kind of like the intercepting side of things. It's like the AI recovery time has either got worse, either Command were tinkering with the AI behind the scenes, maybe they're not. I don't know that. And just for a bit of context, it's been over 4 months since we got an update on the AI state in the dev diary called AI Deep Dive. And I didn't realize this, but it's 2 months until, it's been a year since Kabam acknowledged that the AI recovery time is too fast. And that doesn't fit a lot of these AI based stuff. Like it's just understanding what Kabam are doing. I know they've got to put new events out, and I know they're doing monetization-based things when it comes to the game. But I've always said a key fundamental to this game is how players experience a fighting game, because this is a fighting game. Unfortunately, it has these RPG elements to it that require it to be over complex and complicated than it needs to be, but it is because games evolve. And that's the problem. We need to go back to basics, which is not a great... that used to be an old kind of British Prime Minister saying, back to basics. But it is, this is a key basic of a fighting game to have decent enemy AI that you face off against. Now, of course, Kabam have said in the past that, the AI is not an actual artificial intelligence. It's a defender. It's an enemy. So how you kind of look at it as the robot you face off against, or the bot created, is a bit of a problem. As I've said in the past, because the champion doesn't know it's a champion, or the defender doesn't know it's a champion, it's a bot, it doesn't know a lot of things, which is a problem because it doesn't know how to be fair. And granted, as you're the person facing off against the computer, the computer's not going to ever be fair to you. We know that. But they have nodes on them, and a player does not have nodes on them. So the interaction with that means that they're basically performing unnaturally and unfairly. And that could be like the AI recovery time, that how they behave against nodes that maybe require them to deal with timers. And that's a problem. If you remember, Kabam had a node one time. I think it was on Crossbones, and it was... it forgets me now, but it's the one where if you don't hit in a certain time, you get degened. And because you got degened and the AI wasn't moving out at you because it was playing quite defensively, it meant that the node was basically going to degen you. It's like unavoidable damage. Great, because the champion's not moving at me, I can't get a hit in, so therefore I'm going to degen to death. And the rotation and the time frame you had in order to do it was completely ridiculous. It's the same way of if you're not able to get into hit with encroaching root, encroaching stun, then you are going to be clapped so badly and so frustratingly because of very unnatural, unfair computer-based defender that you're facing off against, aka the AI. There is some interesting things. I will leave a link to this in the description, which is the dev diary, if you want to go and check it out. But it's the AI itself, how it recognizes and understands your pattern of movement is a problem because it then understands more than what is technically fair, especially compared with other games that don't have these kind of things like extra nodes on their defense-based character, and of course you being the offensive-based character. So since Kabam put out that last thing, that last 4 months, 4 months ago, I haven't seen anything to give me any indication that there is something being built, number one. I can imagine they are building some stuff and testing stuff behind the scenes, but it doesn't mean that, it's actually going to happen. And it may take longer than you might think to kind of put it into game. I just like to see some more details and information, especially because it's been 4 months since the last kind of dev diary update on it. And especially that in the next 2 months, it will actually be a year since Kabam made acknowledgement that there was a greater problem with how AI actually works and, flows, especially with Solvarch. The way that AI is, and some of the newer champions, the AI has not been great, and it hasn't been great for years. So when will it be great? Make AI great again? Well, it wasn't great to begin with. It needs to be built up from the ground upwards. And Kabam have even said, in that particular post, they'd actually like to do things like just tune intercept down. So making it just fairer on movement, better on movement, which currently it's not. And even more so when it comes to nodes. When nodes are put on champions, like the defenders, I'm not saying they behave differently, because Kabam, I can imagine, will say, well, no, they don't behave differently, but they do in some ways because you can't, and the AI doesn't know how to control its power when it's got the certain nodes. I've just given some examples of that. So this is what I want to see. I want to see Kabam giving us some more information on what is happening with this stuff. I want to find out where there's going to be more improvements. What are they working on? How are they working on it? what types of positive information they can give out to the community to give us hope that they're actually getting this stuff, like getting a handle on it, or at least going, we've built something from the ground upwards, because theoretically, as they said, they've got to make a brand new AI system, which I know does not, happen overnight, right? It doesn't. But this is the word here. Train of transparency. I would like to find out where we up to, like how the AI understands its purpose in MCOC, how the defender behaves. Can it actually understand what is fair and unfair? Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it. What are your current thoughts about the state of AI? Would you like to hear more information from Kabam? Is this a good time for them to give us a bit, positive sentiment about what is, not positive sentiment, but positive information on this? Thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. And just wanted to share that and let you know you're not alone with how you're currently feeling with the state of AI and how you'd like to see improvements. Anyway, have a lovely day and goodbye.